Hi guys, in today's episode I'll be showing you my process for coming up with a competition cake idea, executing that competition cake, and then we'll look at other talented artists at the cake show with their competition cakes. First, this is my Kingfisher from last year's competition. The feedback was that I needed more things on the cake topper. My pug dog cake got me third place, but again, the feedback was that I needed more going on. This year I decided to choose the Class 8, which was storytelling category, with the Little Prince story. Day 5, I started piping royal icing in a basket weave pattern around the first tier of the cake. I used a small round tip for 2 lines vertically piped, then I flat thick nozzle for the horizontal lines. I am using my drizzling tool to even out bumps. This took me 2.5 hours to pipe around the 10-inch base. Now, the front of the cake I used fondant, laid that on. Now I've traced over my picture that I wanted to use, and now I'm using my drizzling tool and pressing that image into the fondant lightly, and then as you can see, when I remove the baking paper, it has imprinted, so it'll be easy for me to paint later. Next, I wanted the leaves on the tree. I ended up going with Rice Krispies for this. So first I melted some marshmallows down in a bowl over boiling water because I don't have a microwave, otherwise I would have just used a microwave. I then, once those were melted down, I spread some of that on to the areas where my Rice Krispie treats will be going, because it'll make it nice and the area nice and sticky, making it a lot easier for the Rice Krispies to stick onto where I want them to go, especially underneath where the gravity is going to get to them. Now I'm adding white chocolate into my melted marshmallows because that white chocolate's going to help the Rice Krispies firm up later. Now we can go ahead and add our our rice bubbles, and we're mixing that, allowing that to cool a little. Then I've oiled my hands with coconut oil, and I'm placing the Rice Krispies onto the cake. As you can see, it's falling because it's still too warm. I'm trying to, I should wait for this to cool down a little bit more. I eventually got them on. Now we're up to the moon on my cake. So to do this, I used gum paste and a foam ball. I used a marble technique, and I rolled that out so it would cover the sphere. Then I got some more melted marshmallows and stuck that to the inside of the base, so that when I add the final layer of fondant to the base, it'll all roll together and stay stuck. Now, so I entered my cake in. Today's Saturday. Went with my twin an hour and a half drive into the city so that we could sell her scrunchies at a creative market. This is her setting up. She does scrunchies, bows, and it's all with recycled materials and fabrics. And there was a smokehouse outside, so I got a pulled pork brisket with homemade pickles, and there was a bakery stall market nearby, so I went and got a chocolate biscotti and a brownie cookie. It was vegan, delicious. On Sunday, I went alone to the cake show to see my cake. I didn't place anything, but I did get a bronze grading. So I got 50 out of 100 for my score. The lady who won in my category had made an Alice in Wonderland themed cake, and it was so much more detailed than I had put into mine. It was amazing. Now let's look at some other talented sugar artists that were at the cake show. This one is from Spirited Away. It is so detailed with the fine details. I really want to be this kind of skill level with my cake decorating, which I know I need to practice more to get there. This one was Gravity Defying Cake category. This one was a cupcake topper category, and she did the Ghibli toppers and won People's Choice because people loved it so much. There are dragon cookies. The eyes look so real and so detailed. It's amazing. The hand-painted cake category, a labyrinth cake with such fine detail. I even did a close-up of those things on the tongue and the little skulls. Like, there's so much detail going on. This box is from the live sculpting. So it was two sugar giant groups against each other. Look at that detail on the face. This is the royal icing category with filigree work. She was the only one that entered. I found people don't tend to enter this category. I think it's a loss. It's really like losing that art of filigree. This cabinet is in the cookie category. All gingerbread. It's amazing. These flowers won first place, but look at all the other categories in that competition. They're all so amazing. They look so real. Like those roses. They look like they're just from the garden. Love the Mad Hatter one. So much detail going on there. The Pinocchio and the Aladdin. More cookies. Anything you want to category. She done chicken run. The picture framed cake category. E.T. looks so real. Disney villain cookies. This is the Pegasus from the Pegasus class that was done by DI Cake Studio. It was sold that day. I hope watching these talented artists inspired you with your cake and sugar work in the future. I hope you watch another episode of Kitchen and Crumb. Thanks for watching.